Hi there, I'm back again to talk about what I've been doing in terms of fasting, OMAD, intermittent fasting, and more results. I'm really enjoying it. In the last 4 weeks, about the last 6 weeks or so, because I started off doing keto and purely keto and eating, every day, and totally messing up, and it just took me ages to start losing the weight. So I started off about 11 stone 3, which is is not good for me. It's not where I'm in danger, but definitely that's not going to work for me because of my health. And I talked about, I think previously, in another video about my health challenges 20 years ago, when my doctor had said, that if I didn't change my lifestyle, basically, I was working too hard, trying to build, my little, empire as I was feeling at the time. So had a small, had a daughter and a granddaughter, and I was like, I've got to create this and do that. So I was working like two jobs and not really eating right, not sleeping well. So my doctor said, you've got to change everything. You can't carry on like this, or you're not going to make it to your next birthday. And of course, that was not good news. I was my granddaughter was living with me, and I was getting married at the time. I just got proposed to. So the last thing I wanted to hear was, this is my last, year, I'm dying. And I knew I wasn't well. I knew I was in bad shape. I knew I was grossly overweight, 14 stone, and at the time. So anyway, I did talk about that in another video, so I don't want to go on about that because that's the past and we don't want to go backwards. We only want to go forwards. And I'm really excited to say that I've lost a stone in the last 4 to 6 weeks. And certainly last week was where I really started to see results, feel results, can see it in terms of my energy levels, skin, everything. I just feel really like I'm doing something good for my body. And it's funny, I was speaking to a friend today, and he's quite slim, and I said to him, what do you do? And he runs every, I think, 3 or 4 times a week. And I said, wow, I don't feel I could bring myself to running on the pavements, or out there. But he says no, he does it in the park, which is nice. But then I said to him about, okay, so what about your eating habits? Because you're a gentleman of a certain age, and you're not big at all. You haven't got a belly and all this stuff. And he says, what? I eat when I want to. I eat when I'm hungry. So if I'm not hungry and it's like the whole day's gone and I'm not hungry, I'm not eating. And I said, that's what I'm learning. I'm learning that we've been sold a lie. These 3 square meals are turning us into square, square people. People. I remember reading an article a few years ago, and they were talking about how the modern woman has got more of a square waist than the women from before. The women of before, they had the hourglass, shape with the dipped in waist. And what was happening is we were, saying more and more women, not all women, obviously, there's never all, but it's becoming more popular for women to have a bigger waist. So in the old days, like my mother, her waist on her wedding day was 20 inches. Can you believe that? 20 inches. I've never had a 20-inch waist. My smallest waist was like 24, which is a good, that's a good size, a good waist. But these days, I think a 26-inch waist is quite seen as quite a good, or even 28, and the waist is getting bigger, put it that way, and we're getting more of a boxy waist than that sort of hourglass, dipped in waist, that they used to have back in the day. And I really feel a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're eating foods that are not natural. We're eating a lot of, foods that have got, got pesticides and different things, and not, organic. Whereas back in those days, that's all we had was organic foods. So people, I'm not saying there wasn't people who were big, but they weren't you know, they were not big in an unhealthy way. There was only a very few people, I think, that would be considered, you know, grossly overweight. Most people were either, you know, curvy. A lot of women were curvy back in those days, from what I remember, and slim. And then you'd have the odd, you know, bigger person. And it's down to the food. And like my friend was saying, you know, I think he's naturally slim, to be fair. But then, to be fair, we're all naturally slim. I've never seen a fat baby come out of the womb. Even, you know, babies tend to be quite scraggly, you know, and then they start to put on weight as we feed them, you know, the solid foods and what have you. But the average baby tends to be quite, you know, quite small and quite slim. I know my mum said I was really scrawny. And back in those days, they liked a bonny baby. Everyone wanted a bonny baby. So, you know, like with little chubby arms and legs. And she said I was quite scrawny, especially around the neck, you know. And it's true, even now, when I lose weight, it comes off my face first and my neck, or my neck first and my face, then my chest, and everywhere else. And my stomach is the last place that it goes from, which is really annoying, because that's the place that, you know, I really like a flat tummy. But to be honest, with fasting, I found I lost about 2 inches this week off my waist, which is a good sign. So, you know, I know I'm doing the right thing, and I feel good, and you can see I'm not wasting away, you know. I'm still, you know, I mean, to be honest, this camera is making me look 10 times bigger, like my nose, my face, you know, but it's good at the same time, because it's given me something to work towards. Every time I see myself on camera, I think there's no way I'm going back to my old ways, you know, so I don't mind looking whatever way I look, so long as I get the message out. That's the most important thing. But yeah, you know, I love motivation. I love, you know, and I'm finding I just can't get enough of it right now. And it's not that I've not always been like that, but I'm finding, I think when you fast, you just download more positivity, more, you know, the thoughts that's coming through me. My head is clear, for starters. Like I said last week, my head is so clear. It's amazing. And so I find that I just can't get enough of positive stuff. So I'm constantly on YouTube listening, and I'm also writing what's coming through me as well, and I'm sharing it with my clients when I'm speaking to them. And, you know, they're loving it. It's like I'm getting so much, you know, feedback saying, oh, thank you so much. I was feeling so down and I feel so inspired. So it's just, you know, I'm just like this, you know, just bubbling, and it's amazing. And, you know, who would have thought not eating is doing that? I did 64 hours last week. I haven't done that this week so far, and I've not felt I need to. I've just been eating 24 hours, fasting 24 hours. But what I have found is smaller appetite. I don't feel like I need to fill up. And you know, if you saw the last video, I talked about having a feast day, a real feast day where I can just eat whatever I want to eat and just go for it. And I'm not feeling I want that, because I thought, you know, if I'm going to be not eating, you know, I've got to have a feast day. I've got to have a day where I just eat whatever I want to eat. But, you know, one of the things that it's like, it's resetting my appetite, and so I really don't feel hungry. I eat because, you know, I eat if I feel a little bit like, you know, I feel a bit nibbly or what have you. But doing that 64 hours, I really feel the 64 hours, I've just been drinking fizzy water, so excuse me. Yeah, the 64 hours has really helped me to just, you know, just adjust. And it really sort of, I think it's been amazing. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again next month, which is down the road. We've got about 2 weeks left. So anyway, going back to this motivation, I saw this video about Steve Harvey, who was talking about, you know, your dreams, your goals, your vision. And that is, you know, for me, once someone's talking about that, my ears are like boing. And he started talking about writing goals, and I've always done that. And I've done, you know, especially back in the day where I was really starting to make things happen, impact in my life, you know, things I wanted, if I wanted, you know, I'll talk about those in another video, but when I wanted to own a house and I was nowhere in a position to do so, I wrote it down and I had the pictures and I, you know, visualised and all this stuff. But basically what he was talking about was 300, you know, writing down 300 things that you want to do, have or be. And he said, you know, the first 50, you're going to be like writing away, boom, 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 you know, things that you feel, yeah, you want and blah, blah, blah. Get to the second 50 or the next portion and you write down what people might say, oh, that's good. That's a great goal to go for. That's wonderful. But then you're going to get stuck. I'm at 76. I mean, I got my pen and my scrapbook out and I started writing. I got to 76 so far since yesterday. And, you know, I'm enjoying it and I'm finding there's a lot of things that's coming through. What you'll find is, you know, and I would say to you, try this if you can. Just get a pen and pad and just write as many things. Aim for 300. You don't have to do it all in one sitting. You can do it each day until you find, you know, till you get there. So if it takes you a day, a week, a month, 6 months, whatever, but try and get it down. So use it as your daily journaling, if you will. So, you know, but like you said, you will get stuck. You will get to a place where you just can't think of anything. And I liken that to writing. Like, I like to write poems and blogs, and in fact, I write for a company and get paid for that. Sometimes you do get stuck. But what I find is what you do is you just keep writing and writing and writing, whatever gobbledygook comes up. Because what you're doing is you're really breaking that ceiling that is holding you stuck, that's making you feel blocked. But then when you know, if you're faithful to it and you keep writing, wonderful stuff will come through you and you can start writing and you can't stop. And it's the same with this. I feel, you know, you will start writing your goals, your visions, your dreams, and you will feel, oh my God, you know, I can't think of anything else. I don't, you know, what else is there? And if you just keep writing, even if it's just, you know, I'm happy, or, you know, I'm enjoying every single day, you know, I'm so alive, I'm so glad to be alive, you know, just whatever, just write your gratitude list, you know, just write that out. And then you'll start to find that, you know, more things will come through and you can get your list done. But I really like that, you know, because I've got a gratitude journal which I write in, and sometimes, you know, I'm not always consistent as I would like to be, but, you know, I try. But yes, but I feel, you know, with the reason why I'm bringing that up, because again, with the fasting, I'm finding I'm just drawn to things and it gives you discipline. And I find that I'm more, you know, I have a coaching session with my coach, and he's given me assignment, which is, you know, for 45 days straight, you know, write your stuff in a journal. So I'm doing that as well. And I did it twice, and I got to eight days twice. Yeah. So I did 1 week and I got to 8 days. And then the 9th day I didn't write anything in. And I did that again a second time and I didn't. And this time, since I've been really actively, you know, pursuing or, you know, engaging in my fasting activities more seriously, I've not missed, you know, I've gone way over those, you know, the 8 days. So I am just, you know, looking at what's happening to me while I'm doing this thing that is so different, because I like my food, I like to eat, and I don't like to be, I don't like to eat a small meal. You know, that's if you're going to say, you know, I'm only going to eat a small meal and just be careful. But now I'm finding small portions. I love them. I'll eat a small portion of food and I'm full. And I'm feeling more disciplined with my work and everything else in between. So I would say to you, you know, that's what's happening. But like I said, you know, if anyone wants to come at me and say, why are you talking about fasting and blah, 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 who do you think you are? This is my channel and this is me documenting what I'm doing, because I know if I don't do this, I can do it, I can write it down, I don't have to put these videos out publicly, but why not? It's my channel, and I want to share what is working for me. I want to be able to look back. I want my grandchildren to be able to come on here and say, oh, look at Gran, you know, when she was doing this, blah, blah, blah. And now look at her now. She's, you know, really happy and healthy. Like I said, you know, when you've gone death's door, I've had like 9, I don't know if it is 9, but I haven't really counted, but I've had so many near-death experiences, and I'm going to write an ebook or a book on that, along with some other things. And when you've gone through so many near deaths, including a health, you know, challenge where, you know, where I was told about take care, you know, change your lifestyle because you are not, you know, going to make it. When I was told that, I immediately went away because I didn't want to take pills, because she wanted to give me high blood pressure pills and all sorts of different things, and I was like, no, I can't do it. So you know, I went away and I found a way that could help me out. You know, something that I've started off with Fit for Life, which was really good. It got me out of danger's door. It may not be what everybody else, especially where we are today, where we're into more keto and alkalizing and all these wonderful things, which, yes, you know, great, I'm on that. But I'm also on, you know, there are days when I just want to eat fruit, and I'm going to do that. And there's days when I'm just going to want to eat vegetables and, you know, seaweed. And yeah, that's the thing, seaweed, I'm getting into that. I bought this seaweed spring, it's like, it's all powdered seaweed, and you add it as a seasoning to your food. Delicious and so good for you. And spirulina, is it spirulina? I think, yeah, that's what it's called. It's like, it's a bit like wheatgrass, but more fishy. It's like it's an herbal, sorry, it's a seaweed plant, but again in a powdered form. Green algae, that's it. And you know, which is seaweed, obviously. And yeah, so I'm getting into that, sprinkling that on my food, and it's so good for you. It removes you know, all the toxins and the heavy metals and what have you. I like the Epsom salts. Epsom salts is really good for you emotionally, because I do the work I do. I talk to people all the time who's got emotional problems, and mostly around their relationships. So I don't want to drag that around with me. So a salt bath at night is really good for clearing you, and also it's good for weight loss as well. So, you know, and it all goes together, because what we have to realise, our emotions are energy in motion, and our emotions are moving around our body. This is why when you get angry, you can feel the anger rising, you know, through your body. So we have to take care of ourselves, and yeah. So fasting for me is a big thing. I don't want to keep this video too long because I can talk for England. But definitely, everything is going really well. I'm really happy. I can't wait to see what's going to happen to me in the next 6 weeks, because I'm definitely keeping going with this. And you know, someone was asking me the other day, when are you gonna stop? You know, when are you gonna, you know, when do you stop doing this fasting? I said I'll stop when I feel happy with you know, my health, my size, because it's all about having lots of energy so that I can keep up with all the things that I want to do. And I want to be out and about more. I want to be doing more interviews, not just not just for radio, but I also want to, you know, go out and talk to people and run around and, you know, just do fun things and just incorporate that into what I'm doing. So I need the energy. I'm a lady of a certain age, so the way I see it, I don't need, you know, a body that is, yes, it's fine to have curves and stuff, but I don't need the excess. And also, it's about health and also keeping one's memory. Fasting is really good for your mental health, and your mental well-being. It's known to, you know, really keep your memory strong. And yeah, so lots and lots of reasons to fast is what I would say. I will try and put some, I'll try and put some ideas, not ideas, what am I talking about? I will put some reasons for fasting, good benefits for fasting. I think what it is, I know my food is calling me and I'm like trying to rush the video so I can go and eat. And to be honest, I'm not even hungry. I'm just like, you know, because it's there. But yeah, so anyway, So please subscribe if you like my videos, if you're interested in OMAD, fasting, intermittent fasting, calorie restriction, all that stuff. And you know, yeah, if you just want to help a girl out, help me out with you know, getting my video out there to more people, please subscribe, please like, please comment, good or critic. You can critic me, I don't mind, so long as you're not mean, so long as you don't start, you know, putting me down. I'm not going to tolerate that, you know, because I don't see the need for that. But you know, if you like what I have to say, if you don't agree with me, please, you know, share your thoughts. I am open to all comments, apart from the bad ones. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I'm going to eat, and going to go and do some work. And until next time, you have a great day.